We're gonna start our 24-hour timer now, and I'm gonna take some cough syrup. Hi, hello. Oh god, this is gonna be a long day. Hi, hello, it's nice to see you. Oh, that was really bad. That was really bad. Hi, hello, it's nice to see you. I'm glad you could make it. And I know we must address the elephant in the room, the really big, massive elephant in the room right now. But I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent with you and tell you that this is the best that I have sounded in like a week. We woke up this morning and Emily said, wow, you kind of sound like a human again today. And I know you're hearing that right now with your listening ears right now and going, that doesn't sound normal. But I need to remind you that I have been like this for so long. I don't even know what normal sounds like anymore. All of that's to say, I am only in Calgary. I'm only with Emily so many days out of the year. And what a missed opportunity it would be to not subject her to reading for 24 hours straight again. Although I tried that, I did. There's a piece of hair in my eye. I tried that, I did. I tried to convince her. Was no go. So we might not be reading for 24 hours straight. We might not be doing that part. But we are reading for 24 hours, period, I guess. We're starting an alarm. We're going to try and do it in like 2 or 3 days. We started way later today than we meant to. But like, obviously, I'm sitting in a room with my best friend that I only get to see how many times a year? Obviously, we're going to yap our little faces off. Before we get into our reading, before we start our alarm, I don't know how I got away with this many books yet again. I don't know how I got this many books in my suitcase yet again without it being overweight. I will say most of them were in my backpack. Yeah, my back hurts. You know what? I'm carrying the weight of this video on my back, literally and metaphorically. So before we get into anything, we have to do our TBC. And now you might be asking yourself, TBC, hey Maddie, isn't it a TBR? And no, you're wrong, because these are not to be read. These are to be thought about being picked up. I feel like my normal kind of dry humor with this voice just is mean.
It's not. You don't sound mean at all. You just sound like you don't have a voice. Like a little beautiful angel, just like always, okay?
Thanks. That's very nice. I don't know how I got all of these in my suitcase. I don't know how I got all of these on an airplane and all the way over here because there's no world that I'm going to read them all, but I am nothing if not going to have options. And I could have just brought my Kindle. You're 100% right, but where is the fun in that? Where is the risk taking in all of that? In terms of our to be considered going into this 24-hour reading video, we have It's a Love Story by Animal Monaghan. It's on my TBR. I should really rate it. I really should. Animal Monaghan is always going to hit. I've never rated an Animal Monaghan book below 4.5 stars. The more that I'm talking, the harder it's getting. We're gonna go really rapid quick, okay? Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Obviously, I've never actually rated an Ashley Poston book below 5 stars. So, like, this is the obvious choice if we're trying to have a good day. You know what I mean? Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley. Emily's been screaming from the rooftops that I need to read this. Yo. So I had a really good feeling that I would get a good, like, swift backhand across the face if this didn't go in my suitcase. So it's in my suitcase. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Never read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. Was convinced to buy it last week. I've seen so many people screaming at the rooftops that I need to read this, that if I read the way that I read that this is gonna make me cry. I've never read a book by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I feel like that's kind of a sin. And I feel like this could be one of the ones that's really good, but I also, is this like a cry alone in your room kind of experience? Who knows? Lord of the Flies meets Love Island, which I don't know how those things work together either, but I mean, that tagline sold me and I added it to cart and it's here. So, and last but not least, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which is just looking at it, not screaming 24-hour reading video kind of book, you know what I mean? It's giving, gonna annotate, gonna cry, probably can't do that 8.5 hours into reading something straight. All that's to say, maybe if we're slumping, Emily also has this one and we could buddy read this together. And now is normally the point in a 24-hour reading video where I say, we'll see what we get up to, we'll see what happens, we're about to start our alarm. But that would be a lie, because I actually hate making decisions. I don't like making decisions about anything in my life, but I hate making decisions about what I'm gonna read. And I already have enough to think about dealing with the fact that a future Maddie is going to have to sit and watch this right now and listen to this version of herself reading for 24 hours straight. So I'm not letting myself choose my reads for 24 hours because clearly the decisions I've been making, they haven't been panning out. No good decisions have been made recently. I'm gonna let Emily choose my reads for 24 hours straight. I'm not gonna give her full free reign because I absolutely know that she will once again give me a 700-page fantasy that's going to completely emotionally destroy me. I'm already mentally and a little bit physically destroyed. I don't think I need to be emotionally destroyed, but I will let her choose between at least 2. Maybe we'll give her free reign at some point if we're feeling a little bit spicy. All of that's to say, welcome to the 24-hour reading video. Welcome to another Besties 24-hour Calgary reading vlog. I don't know what to tell you. If you've made it this far, I love you so much. And we're manifesting that by day 2 of this, I don't fucking sound like this. So you can't win them all. But I'm gonna let Emily choose my read now. Let's manifest she's nice to me. You kind of look like you're actually choking me. I don't know which two to make you pick between yet. There's nothing like seeing your book besties bookshelves that you see online every single day in real life. Can confirm they are as cool in real life as they look online. So, okay, everyone say hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
I knew that was coming.
Hello, everybody. Here I am. Here we are.
Give us like a brief lore breakdown. Like, what if you could pick anything in this world to make me read every single time? What is it going to be?
If I could pick any single thing to make you read, anytime you give me the option to give you a book, I am gonna want to like eviscerate you a little bit, like just like emotionally like destroy you.
Yeah, of course.
Not that it takes much for you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're kidding. We bully each other because we love each other. Please, I don't want to see a single comment. They secretly hate each other.
I took that kind of as a compliment.
Good.
Yeah, she's sensitive.
And it is usually going to be a fantasy 9 times out of 10 because
I only really gave you 2 to pick between, though.
I know. I'm not going to do that to you this time because I did that to you last time and I just feel like that would be cruel. So we all know that if I did have completely free reign to pick a book for you, it would be probably this one. But I'm not going to do that to you yet, okay? I do want you to read it at some point, but I do think like I'm going to take it easy on you considering that you're so down bad right now. I love you and I know that that's not what you need. And I want you to have the full experience when you read it, you know?
I almost just closed my eyes like that one. Like I'm just going to drop them all. I'm doing it. What?
Throw them at me. Whichever one I catch. Whichever one hits me in the face. Target practice. I am going to go with, I've never read an Annabelle Monaghan book. I want to read this with you.
This feels like a sin.
I know. I'm sorry.
I know.
I didn't really love the only TJR book that I ever read, and I can't give you that one. So...
Oh, okay. The Compound.
I guess we're going with Lord of the Flies meets Love Island.
It's crazy.
Like, literally, that's just insane. I don't really know. But Bestie Bailey loved it. I've seen a lot of people talk about this and love it. So I feel like this is a good bet. And also, I love the cover, like, a lot.
I know, right?
Like, can we take a moment?
It's so pretty.
It's so fucking pretty. So I just feel like this is a good bet. I feel like it's, like, right up your alley of book that'll be, like, pretty easy to read pretty quickly.
Yeah,
it's short.
Okay, that's the lore. I want to say thank you to Bestie Emily.
If it sucks, I'm not the one that bought it.
Okay, we're going to start our 24-hour timer now. And I'm gonna take some fucking cough syrup.
Not the Red Bull at 5 p.m.
Prime time. Prime time. That sounds like being able to actually finish this is what I would normally say, but we're not seeing it for 24 hours, so it's really not that big of a stretch. This book is really like thin and light, and I keep dropping it.
Can you imagine? Do we really seem like the kind of people who would be overly familiar with Lord of the Flies?
Emily just asked me what season this book was giving, and I read the first page of this maybe 4 times, and I was on the second page, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. The moral of the story, this girl is just woken up in a bedroom. There's 2 girls in there, but there's 10 beds. They're wearing tank tops and underwear, but the bathroom is stocked with a lot of things, and there's a lot of screens everywhere. And Emily went, what is Lord of the Flies about? I was like, I have no idea. So we Googled it. I don't know how that and Love Island are going to give birth to this book.
Like, what do you mean it's a story about a group of British schoolboys stranded on a deserted island after a plane crash during wartime? And initially they tried to establish society rules and their structures in life by a conch shell. However, as time passes and the mythful beast grows, the more sensitive to savagery, violence, and all explores themes of civilization versus savagery, lost innocence, and the dark side of human nature. What the fuck does that have to do with waking up in like a compound with screens and a bathroom stocked with bougie things? I'm just like...
That's the Love Island half.
They get like free stuff in their bathroom in Love Island?
Yeah.
Really?
I think they get, there's a wardrobe.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, if you wanted to ask me what this book was about, I would have to tell you, I simply don't know.
Je ne sais pas.
I will keep you updated though. The writing is good, I think. I've read it like 4 times. I don't know what's going on.
The writing is good. Maddie's brain on the other end.
No, it's good. Although it was well built and well supplied, it was incredibly messy, bewilderingly so.
What the fuck?
I'm so confused.
I made it through a good chunk of world building in this book when I first started, and then it's been a few days, so now I'm like
What is
completely
that?
forgetting everything that I read, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Do not stop a fantasy book at page 75 and then wait longer than like 12 hours to pick it back up again.
Unless you have more brain cells than us.
Yeah, which is like a pretty low bar.
Okay, now that we have confirmation that this is... Okay, fuck me. My voice just... I can't speak at like a loud volume.
Okay, fuck me.
Okay, now that we have confirmation that this is in fact a show, like it is being recorded, I am simultaneously like rooting for a couple already. Like I'm confused why I'm rooting for a couple, like this is Love Island, but I'm also like deeply disturbed. There's so many underlying things about this that are just odd and creepy. I don't know how to feel, but I'm so deeply intrigued and I so deeply want our main girl to end up with one guy specifically already, which like what in the fucking Love Island?
Okay, so you know what I was telling you?
Thank you so much.
As you gag because you hate it so much.
Okay, we are officially back for day 2, and I would say better than ever, but I think that would be a lie. However, I do think better, right? I feel like we're doing a teeny tiny bit better. We have officially reached like the 2/3 point in here. I'm on page 182, part 3 of The Compound, and we are like 6 and a little bit hours in. It was a short day 1, okay? You cannot win them all. You can't. You can win a lot of them, but you can't win them all. And I mean, 182 pages in, 6 hours in. I mean, it could be worse. It could be better. I never know how much to expect I'm actually going to read when I'm sitting across from my best friend, because we kind of like to enjoy things together. So if something crazy happens in our books, we need to share the experience, and also just yapping in general, which is literally what I'm doing right now, and I could totally get back on track. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. We're officially at part 3 of The Compound. This book is a little bit of a mind fuck. Like, it's sitting in the back of my mind when I'm not reading it, and I just need to know how it's going to end, which is what's going to happen right after we finish talking about what's going on in here. However, I will say the suspense that this book is keeping me in is single-handedly ruining my sleep schedule. So do with that information what you will. I don't know how Lord of the Flies and Love Island was going to come together and make a book and it was going to work, but it did, and I'm holding it, and it's right here, and it's in my hands, and I am perpetually intrigued by what this is possibly going to do, because I constantly feel like I'm reading something that gives me feelings like Love Island, but then something will happen that's like, weird, that's weird. No, there's like an unsettling note under this entire story, whether it's what the characters are doing and how they're acting and how badly these people want material things. And even Lily, the main character whose voice we are in the entire time, constantly quantifies things. Like, she acknowledges that it's all just things, but she also acknowledges that the world is fucked up out there and she wants these things, and we all want these things. So like, how could you be surprised? Because everybody wants these things. But then she'll have these teeny tiny moments, these teeny tiny thoughts about something immensely fucked up going on in the outside world, and a reason that she wants to be on the show, and a reason that she doesn't want to go back. It is so bizarre. It is bizarre is the best way to explain it. I don't know if it's the Love Island watcher in me or the fact that I'm literally watching Love Island currently, like in the time that I am reading this, but I keep finding myself rooting for couples in this weird, strange compound house. Like, is that what's supposed to happen, or am I a part of the problem? I feel like when I get to the end of this and I understand the underlying message, I'll be able to evaluate and then maybe change my actions moving forward just for how I exist in this temporal plane, you know? And I could tell you what it's about, I guess, but it's kind of hard because there's like a lot of nuance and it's unclear what nuance is going to apply where. Again, she's over explaining, but it's probably going over my head too. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I'm literally just a girl. I'm just a girl who has half a voice trying to tell you what is going on in this book so you read it, because I think you should. I really do think you should. What if I took a breath? Literally, what if I calmed down? We're following this cast of characters, but we're in the point of view of Lily, and she wakes up one morning inside of this weird house, okay? Completely empty, demolished house, because they are on the show The Compound. And it is just like marginally more fucked than real reality TV. Like, it's just like, it's towing that line of like, could be a real thing that goes on. But I think in real life, some things that go on in this, even just the beginning of how this show starts, I feel like we would as an audience not really be down for that, but it's towing that line of being like it's almost real TV, which makes it more unsettling. Moral of the story, they're on the show The Compound. They cannot acknowledge that this is a show. They can't talk anything about their lives outside of the show. No family, jobs, friends, none of that. They can't talk about anything that goes on outside of the show, and they're just meeting for the first time, so like, that's kind of bizarre. But The Compound, the way that it exists, the way that it stands, is exactly how last season's contestants left it after they got all of their shit out and what they decided to leave behind and what they decided to take. So they get to this completely trashed house that has nothing. And the concept of this TV show is that there's a big TV in the living room that gives them communal tasks, and they have to complete those tasks to get things. So it'll be like, tell your first kiss story, a whistle. Banish someone from the compound, vote someone off the island, and you can finally have food. And I kind of want to tell you nothing beyond that, even though I probably told you the basis of this in far more words than you could have read a description on the internet. However, I hope my excitement is telling you that this is a book that you should pick up because it's bizarre, it's unsettling. I need to know where it is going to go. I feel deeply uncomfortable, but then I also get lost in the story and I forget that it has this unsettling mystery situation going on. And I'm just like, feel like I'm reading Love Island. And then they'll say something about a war going on outside and it's like, I think I'm supposed to feel deeply unsettled. But if that's the goal, I feel deeply unsettled. So I guess mission accomplished more than anything.
Convinces him to like help her dig into like a secret that's being kept, right? And like the guy that she's currently dating, like the safe option, he's not there. It's like, don't look at her, don't talk to her, don't touch her, like fuck off.
Yeah.
And she like sneaks upstairs right after, mind you, she's been like brutally injured in a fight and he had to watch. So he's like pissed as fuck, but she doesn't know why. Yeah. I know why. We know why. Please tell me you're not jumping out this window right now. I'm not jumping out of this window right now. He says, then he promptly climbs up and jumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's such a sarcastic little asshole, and that's like my favorite breed of male main character. It's giving like Jace Herondale.
Can you tell by what is on the TV that we watched all 3 Lord of the Rings movies yesterday? That's how we're doing.
And I also like, wait, what was I gonna say? If we didn't have work to do, we'd be watching all 3 of the Hobbit movies and then Rings of Power also, because Mads has never seen them before, and showing someone something that matters this deeply to me is one of my favorite pastimes ever. So I'm really struggling not to like really bring her down the entire wormhole and force her to love it as much as I do, because I know that she would. It's tough, but we're staying locked in. It's just we needed a little bit of an essence of it still, because we're not over it yet.
And that's why I'm letting her pick all my reads. This feeling, this is friendship. I seriously do not understand how we've reached this part of the story, but I'm also deeply, deeply disturbed. So, do with that what you will.
What the ever-loving fuck is going on?
Just over to, oh my God, like every time I go to talk for the camera, it's shocking. 10.5 hours in, we are officially done our first book of today. And as always, we're gonna leave full thoughts, ratings, reviews, all of that jazz for the end, because I will give everything 5 stars the moment I finish it. If I don't have time to think about it, maybe not this. Okay, this is the book that I read. I read it, it was read. No, I don't know if I like it, but I respect it. If that means anything to anyone in any way, shape, or form, that's what I feel about this book. Can't even put words together. I could praise so much in this story. I am praising. I will praise so much in this story, but I don't know if I liked it. I really can't do a British accent without my voice. I never thought I would read the feelings or experience the feelings of reality TV. The fact that this actually encapsulates how reality TV feels as a watcher and how you would assume it would feel as someone on reality TV is shocking to me. Like, not even just in the hee hee ha ha fun way, like turn your brain off, watch something kind of way, in like the deeply parasocial, why do we enjoy watching this about other people kind of way. The author didn't stray away from like anything in this story. It was deeply disturbing. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like maybe I was taking too much out of it, but like literally what else is new? I'm always gonna take way too much out of a story. All of these characters, deeply unlikable. This situation, deeply uncomfortable. This world that they live in feels very far away. Like it feels like this exists in a liminal space where it's almost Earth, but it's like slightly a parallel universe. There was so much about this that was incredibly bizarre. That's the best way I can explain this. This is incredibly bizarre. are. It's incredibly thought-provoking. I don't know if I wanted the thoughts. I know I wanted those thoughts in my head, okay? I feel like this is one of those books that it's paced so perfectly, like written masterfully, that by the time you get to the end, you are looking at what's going on in the book, and the way that you got there, your brain is just like fully locked and loaded. You're like fully going on this journey with them. It feels like we understand how we got to this point, but then you sit back and you look at the point that you're at, and you're like, oh, you did a lot of work in this writing for us to get here, and me to not be just like incredibly disturbed and feel incredibly fucked up by this. I'm making it sound like a lot more disturbed than it is. It's almost weird and so fucked up because it's like almost feels real, that you buy into it. Like, you know those books that you're reading and you're like fully lost in the story, and then you like come to for a second and you're like, why was I believing that to be real? And when you do that in fantasy, it's escapism. When you do it in something like this, it's giving Black Mirror. So I wouldn't say this is for lovers of Love Island, but I would say if you're a lover of Love Island and you also love to use your brain in a critical thinking way that makes you feel a little bit disturbed and uncomfortable, yeah, this book is for you. I'm sounding really negative. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I felt like actually kind of sick at the end. So maybe that's where this is coming from. So a future Maddie will let you know how she actually feels, but the current Maddie, who hasn't had any time to think about it, is vaguely, she thinks it's good, but she didn't like it. To the point that she's talking in third person. You literally cannot win them all. There's nowhere, nothing follows this perfectly. Like, I have no idea where to go with it. Good thing I don't have to. Good thing Emily has been making your best friend make all of your decisions for you. But it needs to be someone you trust. So like, good thing I trust her, you know? She went up and down the stairs twice.
Yeah. There's a lot of stairs. I need to get back into the gym, okay? God forbid. Hey guys.
Hi. On today's episode of We're Making Emily Choose My Read, yet again, we have a pile. A pile and a present. Oh. Do you want me to open the present and then you pick, or is the present the book you're picking?
One more time.
Should I open the present, or is the present to pick the book?
I think either way, open the present and then introduce it as an option.
Okay. It says on the package.
It's really mysterious. I wonder what's in there.
I never guessed.
Close your eyes.
Never would have guessed.
What?
Is this your favorite book of the year so far?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then.
Well, like one of them. No, I lied. My favorite book of the year so far was Princess of Blood, but that doesn't come out till September.
Okay.
This is one of, are you gonna open it?
Oh, open it, what do you mean?
I mean, are you gonna open the book?
Oh. Okay, we did a 24-hour reading video together last time, and she wrote me the sweetest note in it. She did it again.
You should read it out loud.
You want me to speak more?
Yes.
Mads, I thought I'd write a brief little message to, I can't talk out loud. Okay. Mads, I thought I'd write a brief little message to remind you how much I love you before you start reading this book, just in case you don't like it and the foundation of our friendship begins to crumble. Kidding, sorta. We're not that fragile, except for when we are.
Yeah, just like
There's
depends on our
art.
mood, you know?
Is this the couple?
Yes. Well, yeah. But like, look at the like faces around and the shards.
Tea. Is this your pick? The whole pile's gonna go back over there and then you can pick. How's that?
That sounds great.
This is very kind of you. You didn't have to give me a book.
This is very kind of you. You didn't have to. For reference, she showed up at my house with a fucking expensive ass Jellycat dragon that I've wanted for months that she drove an hour away to go pick up for me. And she's like, you didn't have to get me a book.
You know, but you wanted it. And I could get it.
Okay, here's
book
the
number 2. Okay.
Here's the pile with the added option now of Dance of Lies. I love to force Maddie to read books that changed my life. It's like one of my great joys that I have in this lifetime. So being so for real with you right now, I'm not even gonna look at any of the other options. For me, it's really only between A Dance of Lies and Servant of Earth because those are my favorite books that I've read this year, really. I feel like we should do like a drum roll.
Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. Book number 2 is... Am I nervous? I feel like you're gonna put slime in my hands.
That'd be so mean.
Dance of Lies.
Are you disappointed?
No, why would I be disappointed?
I don't know. Just like I sensed disappointment.
No, I just think that when you're between 2 options,
yeah,
it's never that surprising. Wait, okay. What's your favorite thing about this book?
I love the chronic illness rep in this book.
Okay.
I love the way that like you can tell that it mirrors. I love when you're reading a book and you can tell that the author has like derived a lot of their own personal experiences and like put it into their art that they're writing about. And I think that she does it a lot in this one. Like she's talked a lot about her adventures with chronic illness and stuff like that and how it like greatly drove this book and the inspiration. But for me, I think the fact is that I loved how Easter eggy it was. I love a good Easter eggy fantasy, and this one, like this author was intentionally placing little tidbits throughout this entire book and you thought you knew where it was going, and then the end hit and you're like, in no fucking world did I know where this was going.
So I have to pay attention.
Like, not super. Because, like, once it happens at the end, it's, like, made very clear that you missed it. Like, it's not like you have to pick up on...
missed it.
It's not
you
like...
will miss it.
You will miss it. But it's not like you have to... It's not like you have to go to your way to try and find it. Like, you won't. I promise you won't. It's just, like, so insane. And it's so gritty and dark. From the first plot line, I was, like, immediately fucking hooked. And
you read this in, like, what, February?
I think I read it in March or April.
Because I remember we were on FaceTime one random day and she was like, I just read this book. I loved it. This is the cover. And she showed me it on FaceTime. So now I have it in my hands, courtesy of the one who read it and told me I had to read it. The list of books that I have to read because she's told me I have to read is longer than I am tall. I'm not very tall. Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
It's longer than I am tall.
Yeah.
I'm tall. Anyway, enjoy. If she doesn't like it, I probably won't be making another appearance in these videos.
Yeah,
so,
done or
it was
canceled.
Nice to meet you.
Looking over to, will I even finish it in the 14 hours? That's so confident.
I think you could.
I do too.
It's
Me
like
when I
honestly
want.
too hooked on like finding the little eggs. Don't do it.
Oh, I don't think I could.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't have enough brain cells.
Good. You just gotta like enjoy the ride.
Your pain, invisible or not, is never wasted. Your words matter. Your story matters. You are deserving of the main character slot. That's so cute. Stop being such a good friend right now. I'm already stressed that I'm not gonna love this. Stop being such a good friend.
If you don't, I promise I'm kidding.
That is so very of us to clarify that we don't actually
I know.
if you don't like one of my books, we're not friends
Like I thought
anymore.
that joke was funny, but you know, I was kidding.
The way that I've heard so much about this book for months, and now it's in my hands and she gave it to me, that's real love. We're back for day 3 and we have a cute like 4 and a bit hours, now less than 4 hours left. Math is not gonna math. The math is not gonna math. The words are not gonna word. The vocab is not gonna vocab. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's going on. Literally no idea what's going on. We went to our last day of Stampede last night and came home, I'm not kidding you, soaking wet. We were walking out of the tent after the concert and Emily was like, it's pouring. And I was like, no, it's not. It's just raining. No, it's literally just raining. We walked 2 blocks. I literally feel like I showered. I feel like I was showered. Do you wanna come in?
I'm just gonna appear in the background and be like,
soaked to the actual bone. And the Uber was actually the price of an arm and a leg. So we were on, what's it called, an LRT? A light rail trail?
a light rail trail. A light rail trail.
A really light one. She's cute.
A train.
Okay, it's above ground, so it's not a subway.
Yeah.
Okay, we were on one of those. We were checking every single stop and watching the Uber price go down. And then we finally ordered one and it was on the wrong side of the subway station. Miss Girl soaked. I'm telling a story that does not need to be told right now. Moral of the story, it's day 11 of me. No, yeah? I don't remember when I got here. I've been here a stretch of days. I still can't talk. I have no idea what's going on. We have 4 hours left in this. I'm not even gonna lie. We've already been reading for like 4 and a bit hours today. This is like a really bad, I'm really good normally at making sure I tell you what time it is in these videos. Not today, and I apologize for that. I will say I did read for 4 hours today and I didn't want to put my makeup on, so I didn't film anything. Literally nothing. And by read for 4 hours, I mean I might have read 8 pages. Like a cute, I think, no, I was on chapter 13. We're on chapter 19 now. And I want to talk to you about this book because I'm eating it up. I love it. Not surprised because Emily gave it to me. Everything that Emily said about it, I mean, she was correct. But you know when your friend tells you something and you're like, yeah, sure. And you internalize it and you put it in the back of your brain and you're like, and then it comes true and you're like, I did not believe you. It just wasn't present in the moment. You know what I mean? I fear anything I say might not hold any value. So before I talk at you for the next minute or so here, I'm going to remind you that every single thing that I say is caveated by you already knowing that I wanted to talk to you about this book because I really like it. I don't know if I know why right now, I'm gonna say things and they could be wrong. You know what I mean? I'm also gonna try and tell you what this is about, which it's not hard in premise. It's not. Except for I always have like one singular brain cell rattling around up there, and like he's on vacation right now. Like he took the day off, so words might not come together. What if I just tried to tell you instead of telling you that it's gonna be bad? Just a thought. Literally just a thought. I keep wanting to say we were following Brittney because I keep reading the author's name. It's also awkward trying to explain what a book is about when someone who's really good at explaining books and loves this book is sitting right there.
You think I'm good at explaining books?
That's literally what you're good at. It's the only thing though.
I black out in word vomit, Maddie. Like I don't know in what
I
world.
know. But my issue is whenever I go to describe a fantasy, I'm like, okay, I need to give you the entire politics of the world before you can understand where the characters belong.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unnecessary. I'm gonna try and do this in a sentence. It's not going to be. We're following Vasily. I can't. There's so much going on. Okay. I will say my favorite thing about this so far, I'll tell you what it's about in a second, but my favorite thing about it so far is that it actually feels like a first book in a series. Emily was saying this the other day, and now I've internalized it. Let me take a breath before I speak. That we have so many first books in a series right now, and we're in a second book drought, that all of the first books in series don't really merit being the first book in a series. Like they kind of have the love interest get together. There's like not a lot of places that things can go, which I didn't realize was what was missing in a lot that I've been reading recently. But this feels like a first book. Like it feels unanswered, open-ended questions that will be able to be elaborated on in future books. So if you're like a die-hard fantasy series reader, this is an amazing first book because it is really good in itself. It holds merit. But I think this is one of those series that will look back at this book and be like, we didn't know anything at that point in time. Moral of the story, we're following Vasily. Vasily was King Ilian's jewel, his prize dancer, his best of everything, right? There's a bunch of countries in this world. I'm not going to try and explain it all. I'm literally not going to. There's a north and a south. The kingdom that she is from is broken into 3 pieces, and there are 3 kings from each part of that kingdom, and she was one of the king's prize dancers. Let me try again. So honestly, it's fine. She was one of the king's prize dancers, his jewel. Is it on the back like that she's accused? Like, is that a spoiler?
No, I say that in every review.
Cool, okay. I never know where the line is. She's accused of killing someone in his court, and she gets dragged into his court and sent off to prison. So we start off in this book when she is imprisoned, completely 100% beaten down and broken down. She has so many physical ailments from everything that happened to her, and he wants her to dance again. He wants to send her into the gathering where all of the kingdoms meet to be a spy, but she needs to be a dancer to do so. They have performers that go in, and she needs to audition, not from his court, and get in and be his spy. It is dark, but it also is very light. Let me try and explain that better. It's very whimsical. The entire like picture that is drawn in your head of this book is like stained glass everywhere, because where the gathering is held is on an isle that is known for its glass. So like everything is beautifully stained glass. Everything is very pretty, and even like the way that she dances, how they describe her dancing, is like very whimsical and pretty. But then there's a dichotomy of like what King Ilian is making her do, and that's what makes it dark. I will say it's like very unclear who the love interest is. We're just kind of following Vasily, and I feel like we're gonna get so much lore as we're going throughout about like her whole backstory. I feel like with fantasy, it's kind of hard to find poetic writing. Like there's beautiful writing and well executed writing, but this reminds me of the writing in When the Moon Hatched, which is like one of my favorite deliveries of a story ever. So my heart is feeling very full. Have I said anything of value? Probably not. Literally probably not. Will I finish this in the next 4 hours? Like, no, I won't. So you can only win some of them. You know what? I won all of them because I'm sitting here with my best friend reading. We've been together for 10 days. And God forbid, we leave a bunch of the reading till the end because we just want to, God forbid.
We're really struggling to get through this last 4 hours. Not gonna lie to you guys. We haven't been doing it all the way through, but we're still down bad.
The team needs to be checked in on. I just got my check-in request to fly home.
Well, that's really upsetting. How about you just ignore it, don't check in, and then we continue to watch all of the Lord of the Rings movies and the Rings of Power.
Yeah, how are we gonna watch the Rings of Power together? I literally don't know what to do with myself. I fear the answer is I have to read. I don't know if I said anything of value. If I didn't, I apologize to your earlobes. Not your ear canals, not your earlobes. And on that note, we have officially read for 24 hours, not straight, not consecutively. We probably didn't even read for 24 hours, but you know what we did do? You know what I did? I stopped the timer at exactly 24 hours. So to everyone who comments that the milliseconds piss you off, this one's for you. This one is for you.
You can't complain for shit this time.
You can't. You literally aren't allowed. I have not finished Dance of Lies yet. You haven't finished the second book in Legendborn yet. So like full thoughts, ratings, reviews, all that jazz will be later. I mean, do you really want me to sit here and tell you how I feel about anything? I still don't know what I'm going to rate the compound. I have no idea. All of that's to say, I did make Emily move into here so we could get the iconic bookshelves in the back while we tell you our page count, because it's kind of abysmal, but it's okay. Hers is better than mine.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. It could be.
At least we did
Literally,
24 hours worth of reading.
We spent 24 hours with a book in our hands.
Yeah, 24 hours of reading. I made a lot of I took a break to curl my hair, and at one point, or 900 points, we took a break to talk. Yap. What else did we do in the time span? We played with my dog. So you know what? 24 hours of like trying to focus on reading.
Exactly.
That should be the name of this video. We spend 24 hours over the course of multiple days, occasionally reading and doing other things.
Yeah.
Bit wordy. We could work with it.
How do you feel about the books that you gave?
What do you mean?
Because you gave me my books for this video.
Oh, right. I forgot. I'm a bit sleepy. I feel fantastic about the books that I gave you. I don't know, like the compound, I will probably never ever read it, but I'm so glad that you had a time with it, you know?
And you wanted me to read Dance of Lies.
And Dance of Lies, if you finish it and don't like it, then this friendship has been fun.
The door's there, bitch.
It's right over here.
And on that note, how many
Just kidding! I read 751 pages.
Oh, you did the math.
Yeah.
I love that. I've read 596, so that's fine.
Yeah, but one of the days I took 50 milligrams of Vyvanse, and you didn't have any of that to help you. Not that you need it.
You're prescribed.
I guess it puts me on a level playing field. Trying to come up with things to help.
No, I am a criminally slow reader.
She's also just an aesthetic, beautiful annotation girly, and usually I get really fed up with my annotations and I just freehand a highlighter line that ends up kind of looking like waves because it's so crooked.
Okay.
But then I just like call it a day and move on, right? Like, you're a perfectionist and I love that about you, and your books are stunning and gorgeous. It's just like you read 150 less pages and it's not the end of the world.
Have you ever met a best friend that hyped you up harder? This is like, I literally feel like I could call you if I had a body to hide. You'd be like, no, there was a reason.
Yeah.
She can't have just done it.
If she called me and she said, hey, guess what? I killed somebody and I really need to hide a body and I don't know where to do it, I'd be like, okay, well, I guarantee they deserved it. Where the fuck are you? And I'll come to you. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Ditch your phone.
Ditch your phone.
I feel like it sounds sometimes like we're being mean to each other, but it's genuinely just like, when you love somebody so much, you don't feel the need to be like, no, well, what about this? I don't know. Well, we could word it this way to make it easier on you. You just say it, because they know that you love them.
We're also being a little bit mean to each other today because I'm leaving tomorrow, and we're both taking it out a little bit.
Yeah, we're both really sad that she leaves tomorrow, and we're taking out our feelings of being upset on each other, because that makes perfect sense.
No, it makes literally perfect sense. Do you when you miss someone so much that you start to get mad at them?
Yes.
Yeah, that's us. Moral of the story, I'll tell you how I feel in a second. It'll be a long time for me, but it'll be a second for you. So, say bye to Calgary.
I can't, unfortunately. I'm stuck here.
I'm so sorry. Bye! We are home now and we have finished our 2 books that we attempted to read for 24 hours straight. Now, by that I mean, we did read them. They were read. However, the 24 hours of it all, it was more like 24 hours of yapping. But what can you expect when you're with your best friend? You literally can't ask for anything else. That being said, we have ratings, reviews, and all of the jazz to get into when it comes to these 2 books. In terms of 24-hour reading videos, not my best work. Not my best work. In terms of enjoyability, because I was with Emily the whole damn time, reading for 24 hours, I would take it over anything any other day. Regardless, we read 2 books. We read 1.5 books. We finished this later on. We started off with The Compound. I'm somewhere between a 3.5 and a 3.75 on this one because I think it did what it did very well. I just don't think it did very much. You know, it wasn't doing a lot. I had so many questions about the actual world of this that I was like desperately wishing to sink my teeth into. Like, I feel like there was this lack of context a little bit. And then also on the same end, I was waiting for like a crazy twist, or I was waiting for it to have like some big commentary on something. And I just feel like in that regard, it kind of missed the mark. But what it did in terms of being reality TV encapsulated in a book, making you feel eerie, making you feel uncomfortable, being something I've never read before, being a very interesting general fiction lit fic type book, it did that very well. The writing in this was enjoyable enough. It wasn't beautiful and prosy, but like it didn't need to be. I think the main character in this was like kind of a little bit bland, but I also think that was part of the story, was that she kind of felt like she was very surface level and she felt like she didn't have a lot going on, so that's why she's on this show. I just feel like there was so much more this story could have done, but what it did do well. And I have to say, like, the voice of this that comes out in these words, I never would have expected could have been captured from reality TV into being in written word. Literally shocked by how that all worked out. All that's to say, I think it's good. I think it's worth picking up if you're interested, but I didn't like it. That's like like the best way to explain it. Now on the completely other side of the coin, Dance of Motherfucking Lies, 5-star rate. Across the boards, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a strong 5-star read. This was so beautifully written. It was so demanded to be annotated. It was a storyline unlike anything that I've ever read, but it was adjacent to all the romantic fantasy stories and tropes and situations that we love to read about. I think it was so interesting reading about this character that was this dancer, but that had been torn down and tortured, and this thing that was supposed to be her everything, right? Like this was the thing that was getting her through. This is the way that she gained the power that she never had growing up, was taken from her in the way that she's used to having it because of the lifelong way her body will be now after the 2 years she spent in prison being treated horribly. I feel like you can just see so much of Brittney Arena in this book, and I know that I don't know her, but I know that she lives with chronic illnesses, and I know that that was why she wanted to make a female character that got up even when it was fucking hard to do that, and she did it. And the storyline in this, and the beautiful writing, and the very beautiful setting of everything, like the entire world in this beautiful colorful glass, but then having this very dark twisted story taking place on top of it. Like in terms of like light to dark fantasy romance, that kind of situation, it's definitely on the darker side. It's not like really hard to read, extremely triggering dark. It's more just like very traumatic kind of situation. There's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on in this. However, I don't want that to steer you away if you were thinking about picking this up, because the worlds, the characters, the everything, the way that this book ends, I would sell my right arm to know what happens in the next book. Brittney Arena commented on one of my posts, and I told her I would sell my right arm to get the second book right now. Like the way that I would just love to call her up on the phone and be like, everyone's fine, right? You know? And the Easter eggs in this, Emily was not lying in any way, shape, or form. There was no way you could have guessed where it was gonna go. It was written beautifully. It's one of those books you finish and you look back on and you're like, how did I not notice? This is one of those books that I need to read for a second time before I go into the second one, because I just like want to know everything that I missed. The characters in this, the love in this, the way that you don't even really meet the love interest until so much later on, and the love interest is just so baby girl. Literally so baby girl. That was chaotic, that was messy, there was not a whole lot of reading that was done. However, we did read 2 very different, very interesting, very different rating-wise books in the 24 hours that we were here and we were reading, and I let Emily choose my reads, which as a girly who was indecisive and never likes choosing for herself, couldn't have asked for anything better. And that was another installment of 24-hour reading videos on my channel. If you've been around here, you know that we have a little bit of a stockpile of these reading for 24 hours happening over here. Page count wise, this one doesn't stand out, but for the love in the video, a lot of that stands out. Let me know if you guys have any of these and what you thought of them, or if you're adding any of them to your TBR. I think they're both worth it. Like they're so different and so interesting. And if you're thinking about reading them, I think it's a really good time to pick them up. I also think the compound would be really good of like an August read, like a getting into fall type read. It was good. I had fun reading it. I still think everyone should read it. It just wasn't my favorite, and I can't identify why that is, so I would not tell anybody not to pick it up. But Dance of Lies, however, everyone pick it up. Everyone. Especially if you're an annotator. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. Tell me how I had a timer going off on my phone for 24 hours and only that many pages were read. There must have been a lot of conversations happening. A lot of conversation.